I still remember that night. The air was cold, the kind of cold that cuts straight through your skin. My brother stood by the door, his face hard as stone, and his voice sharp, final. "If you think you're smarter than me, Dildora, then go. Go live your big life without us." I was 18. I had a small suitcase, a letter of acceptance to university, and nothing else. When the door slammed shut behind me, I didn't cry. Not right away, because sometimes pain is too deep for tears. It turns into silence. That was the night I lost my home, my family, and a piece of myself. Growing up, I was the middle child, the invisible one. My older brother Jamshid was the pride of the family. My father would always say, "He's the man of the house. When I'm gone, he'll take care of everyone." But what no one saw, or maybe no one wanted to see, was the way power changed him. After my father passed away, Jamshid didn't take care of us. He took control of us. He managed every penny, every decision. Even what we could eat for dinner had to go through him. And my mother, sweet and tired, just nodded. She used to say, "He's just trying to do what's best, Dildora." Be patient, but I knew better. Jamshid didn't want to protect us. He wanted to own us. When I got accepted into university, on a scholarship no less, I thought it would be the proudest moment of my family's life. Instead, it became the reason I lost them. I came home that day, letter in hand, smiling like a child. I placed it on the table in front of my mother, her eyes filled with tears. "You did it, my daughter," she whispered. "Your father would be so proud." Then Jamshid looked up from his phone. His tone was flat. "University? For what? You think a piece of paper will feed you? You're a woman, Dildora. You'll get married, and your husband will take care of you." "That's how life works," I wanted to scream. But instead, I said quietly, "No, that's how you think life works." He stared at me, his eyes full of disbelief. And maybe fear. Fear that I wouldn't need him. Fear that I'd prove him wrong. That night, I overheard him arguing with my mother in the kitchen. His voice was low but filled with anger. "She's not going anywhere. Not while she lives under my roof, and my mother. My dear mother." She said nothing. A week later, Jamshid cornered me in the living room. He pointed at my packed bag. "If you leave this house, don't ever come back." Not as long as I'm alive, I looked at him, really looked at him, and realized something. He wasn't my protector anymore. He was my prison guard. So I walked past him, and when I stepped outside, I whispered, "Goodbye, brother." The door slammed behind me, and for the first time in my life, I was free and completely alone. Freedom sounds beautiful until you have to live it. The first night, I slept at a friend's dorm. The bed creaked, the air smelled of dust and uncertainty. I stared at the ceiling, trying to convince myself I hadn't made a mistake. But when morning came, I woke up with a single thought. If no one believes in me, I'll believe in myself. I took odd jobs between classes, waitressing, tutoring, cleaning, anything that could keep me afloat. Some nights I didn't eat. Some mornings I went to class with an empty stomach but a full heart. Every time I felt weak, I remembered my brother's words, "You'll come crawling back." That sentence became my fuel, my quiet fire. 4 years later, I walked across the graduation stage, the first woman in my family to ever earn a degree. I looked out into the crowd and saw no one from home. Not my mother, not my brother. But I didn't feel sad. I felt free. I got my first job at a small tech company. And when I saw my first paycheck, I cried. Not because it was much, but because it was mine. Every month I saved a little. Every year I climbed higher. Soon I was leading projects, hiring people, mentoring women who had stories like mine. People called me strong. But the truth is, I was just tired of being broken. It was a Sunday afternoon. The rain tapped softly against the window, and I was sipping coffee, reviewing a contract for my own startup. My phone buzzed. an unknown number. At first, I ignored it. Then it rang again. And again. I sighed and answered. "Hello?" a shaky voice whispered. "Dildora, it's me." I froze. That voice, that name. Jamshid? He exhaled heavily, and for a moment I heard something I'd never heard before in his tone. Defeat. We lost everything. The house, the land. Mom's sick. I don't know where else to go. Please, Dildora, I need your help. For a second, I couldn't speak. It felt like the universe itself had gone silent, just to let me feel this moment. 8 years ago, he kicked me out with nothing but a suitcase. Now, he had nothing but a phone call. "Where are you?" I asked quietly. When I opened the door that evening, I saw them standing there, my mother, frail and trembling, and Jamshid, older, thinner, his pride replaced with exhaustion. For a moment, I saw not the man who hurt me, but the boy I once looked up to. I guided my mother inside, offered her food, warmth, comfort. But Jamshid just stood near the entrance, unsure if he was welcome. I looked at him and said, "Come in." "It's cold outside." He nodded slowly, avoiding my eyes. That night, I gave my mother a room of her own. Clean sheets, warm blankets, everything she deserved. As for Jamshid, I let him stay in the guest room downstairs. For weeks, I watched them quietly. My mother's smile began to return. But Jamshid, he looked lost, like a man haunted by his own reflection. One night, I found Jamshid sitting alone in the kitchen. The light above him flickered, half shadowing his face. He looked smaller. Not physically, but inside. He stared into his cup of tea and said softly, "You probably hate me." I didn't answer. He took a shaky breath. After Father died, I thought I had to control everything. I thought if I kept everyone under my hand, no one would fall apart. But I was wrong. I destroyed the very thing I wanted to protect. For the first time in years, I saw tears in his eyes. Real tears. And my heart, the same heart he'd broken, felt something unexpected. Pity. "You didn't destroy it, Jamshid," I whispered. "You just forgot what love is supposed to look like." He looked up at me, confused. "And what does it look like?" "It looks like trust. Like letting someone grow, even if it means they grow away from you." He nodded, silent. In that moment, I realized revenge didn't mean watching him suffer. Revenge meant watching him understand. A month later, I bought a new house, not for revenge, but for peace. A big, quiet place with sunlight in every room. I told my mother she'd never have to worry again. She cried. And then I did something I never thought I'd do. I bought our old family house. It was abandoned, run down, and up for sale after Jamshid lost everything. When I stood in front of it again, my hands trembled. That house had once rejected me. Now it was mine. As I walked through each room, memories whispered from the walls. The laughter, the shouting, the good and the bad. But they didn't hurt anymore. They just existed. When the papers were signed, the real estate agent smiled. "Congratulations, Miss Dildora." "You own the house now?" I smiled back. "No," I said softly. "I reclaimed it." When I told Jamshid about the house, his face turned pale. He didn't say anything for a long time. Finally, he whispered, "You own it now?" "Yes," I said, "and this time it's a home for those who deserve it." He nodded slowly. I never thought I'd see the day my little sister would be the one saving me. I smiled sadly. Neither did I. Then he asked, "Can I stay there? Just for a while?" There it was, the moment the universe completed its circle. I looked at him for a long time before answering. "You can visit, Jamshid? But you can't stay. Some doors are meant to close, even if you still love what's behind them."